They remember him only as Sir Aldrich the Ashen, though once he had been a knight of banners and acclaim. He had charged beneath the sun, steel bright, and broken the enemy line at Harrow Field. He had lived where his brothers had not. That was his glory. That was his curse. For when dawn rose over the battlefield, Aldrich stood among corpses ankle deep, the sky bruised with smoke, the air thick with iron and rot. His comrades lay strewn in grotesque tableaux, mouths frozen mid-cry, eyes unblinking, fingers still clenched upon shattered hilts. The carrion birds circled above, unbothered by crown or sigil. They cared not which lord's coin had paid for flesh. Aldrich alone drew breath. His armor was dented, his surcoat torn, but he still lived. He dragged himself from corpse to corpse, calling names, pressing fingers to throats that would never stir. At first he prayed over each. He closed their eyes, crossed their arms, whispered words that faltered on his tongue. But as the hours bled into days, and the sun withered into dusk, his prayers turned hollow. His lips moved, but no meaning clung to the sound. Still, he worked. He dug graves with blistered hands, stacking the fallen like cordwood. He built pyres that painted the horizon with fire. His eyes streamed with smoke until tears and ash were one. Each brother he burned, each corpse he covered, pressed its weight upon him until his back bowed as if beneath invisible mail. Sleep gave him no reprieve. When he closed his eyes, the dead returned. He saw their faces in the smoke, heard their voices in the crackling pyres. They called to him, soft at first, then louder, until he woke screaming with soot on his lips. The living began to shun him. When he staggered into villages to beg bread or water, mothers drew children inside. Dogs bristled at his passing. Some whispered he smelled of charnel fires, that his eyes reflected embers where pupils should be. And still he returned to the field. He lingered where bones jutted through earth, where melted helms rusted half-buried, where ghosts walked in the fog. One evening, as mist rose from the mire, Aldrich knelt by the remnants of a pyre. The bones within glowed faintly, as though not fully spent. He touched the ash, and it clung to his fingers like frost. The voices came again, but this time not from dream. They rose from the bones themselves. You should have fallen with us. His breath fled him. He clutched at his head, pressing hands to ears, but still the voices filled him. He fled the pyre, he stumbled through the graves, but everywhere the mist thickened and shapes followed, helmets gleaming with phantom fire, swords broken yet lifted against him. He ran until his legs failed, collapsing beside the remnants of a pyre. The bones within glowed faintly, as though not fully spent. The smoke coiled upward, and in it faces formed. His brothers, their sockets empty, their mouths open in endless accusation. Why do you live when we do not? Aldrich's breath faltered. His hands trembled. The smoke thickened, and the voices rose as one. The fire awaits. A cry tore from him, ragged and broken. He staggered to his feet, as though pulled by chains unseen. He climbed the pyre. He pressed himself into the embers, into the bones. The fire stirred at his weight, a breath of flame kindling among the ash. The heat clawed at him, licked through the rents of his armor, bit deep into scar and flesh. Still he did not resist. He spread his arms wide to embrace the fire, feeling welcomed by the brothers who whispered in its crackle. Their voices rose with the flames. This is where you belong, with us. The blaze swelled, hungry, devouring. For a moment Aldrich's figure writhed against the glow, a shadow framed in smoke. Then the flames folded inward, and he was gone. When dawn broke, the pyre was black and cold. Among the bones, no trace of Sir Aldrich remained. Only sit where his form had lain, and ash scattered on the wind. But of Sir Aldrich, there was nothing more. His name, once shouted in triumph, was carried off in smoke. Only the ashes remained, and the silence of brothers long dead.